I must say I'm really nervous about doing this. Last night I got an email from the guys, and credit means so much to me as a carer. Our life changes on our journeys, and I've been a carer for 30 years, and I can relate with Mandy. As in my caring role in 30 years, I could help families in all manner of with the teams I worked with. But actually, I have a disabled son, and not many people knew that actually, only very close friends. And he went to school, he was in his Senko unit and etc. And he was born very chronically poorly. And then we come to, some problems with his health, and he had to have a transplant a few years ago. And I needed help, and I didn't know how to get that help because Hayley, me being a paid carer, how can I go out there? I can't look after my own son. I've got all these emotions going on, and I was going into a dark place. And that's the start of my journey with Creddy, really, Lisa Boeing. And she brought the courageous Becky into my home, and my life changed. And I can wear this big smile. And they brought me some hope that I couldn't find with tick box exercises, or that my family were already struggling and had their own paths. But all of a sudden somebody was actually listening to me, and we're not all gifted with that listening actually. Time is so demanding in the process of living, and I needed that, and Becky and Lisa have helped me tremendously, as Creddy, everybody. I am really privileged to wear my T-shirt. I put this on really proudly. I'm a volunteer for Creddy, and I'm really proud of that. And if I can inspire anybody or help somebody that's feeling so alone, because you can feel very alone, and I don't really want to harp too much about all the negative stuff, but actually the pandemic was quite scary for me because I had to stop working to keep my son safe. And you might think that's a really selfish thing to say, but actually my caring payroll was all about who I was, 30 years, and I had to stop all of that. And I was petrified of actually bringing the COVID home. My son was so vulnerable, I could have actually killed him, and I was getting really manic about this. And then I met the team on Zoom and started doing some of the trainings, and I felt very much part of the Creddy family now, and that can be shared with everybody, anybody and everybody. I feel that we really need to get that out there, because that self-worth, that there's nothing like it, there's no pay, there's nothing like it. And actually last September, my son went into failure again in a pandemic that I wouldn't even take him to an appointment because I was so afraid of this COVID. My mental health wasn't in a good state, but actually we had to move, and we had to move fast. And I can honestly say, I sort of asked for help, but I was getting sort of nowhere at the time with the normal protocol of the services, because obviously the services are in a pandemic, and I fully understand that. But I think this working together, and I think Becky is courageous with her, how she manages to connect with her positivity so that we get the best out of everything. And Marie would ring me and say, Hayley, how can we really help you? And Lisa would text me every week. And virtually, like Owen, I've been really humbled because I've been allowed to stay at my son's bedside when I do know there are so many families that had to, see their loved ones go into hospital without being able to say their goodbyes. But me and my husband, we've shared the care right by his bedside for 6 months. And Creddy have supported me in every way possible. Joe had his transplant the 11th of December. And being Joe, as he is, he puts us through it. He had a rupture on Christmas night, and we were really at our lowest praying for him. But my Creddy family were the ones that were actually listening to me and helping. We were able to get a PA on board, which I wasn't quite able to do with the services at the time. But it wasn't even thinking about that. It was just those words, Hayley, how can we help you? And through that, I'm able to sit here and smile, and Joe is still on his journey, and we're still travelling back and forth. to hospital. And I think that's the journey of carers. Things never stop. We're always caring for somebody, our loved ones. But if we can still have a piece of us and that we can help each other, a little kindness and a little listening, it doesn't need to cost the government huge amounts. But obviously we need that recognition because everybody needs money. And we're doing some wonderful work. We've got a coffee morning now going in Welshpool. Please come along. We've got the Hive now, the wonderful Bryony, and these guys are tireless. They never stop trying to get the word across. And we've got a new lovely member, Laura, who is coming in, her smile and reading people's body language. That smile is just wonderful to be on this journey with everybody. So I think I've said enough now. Thank you so much for listening to me.